The next thing we're gonna do is some TCG deck building, and we're bringing out the desk cam for this one because I'm going to locals later today, and today we're gonna be Sky Striking. I wanna try the new Sky Striker cards a little bit. Give them at least a shot. I will say, and I'm going to show you the list that I played over the course of the weekend in a second, because I did have some friends over on Sunday and we played some new format. And I did try Sky Striker just a little bit with the first build. So this is basically what we're starting with for the day, and then I want to talk about some theory behind it and some of the things. I will say, I think the chances that I'm going to be bringing this deck to the European Championship are going to be relatively slim. Simply because I've noticed two main problems with it, which maybe we can fix some of them for today's locals, but I'll see. Like my main issue with the deck was actually there was two main issues. One issue was Droll and Lockbird, which I felt like whenever I got Drolled, I had very little I could do. That is an issue that I'm pretty sure you can't really solve. Like you can play some outs for Droll and Lockbird. You can play some punishes, quote unquote, like Thrust into Black Goat Laughs or Talons and stuff like that, which maybe make games winnable after you get Drolled. But that's basically all you can really do with Droll. Other than that, a slight issue that I had was consistency, as well as sometimes my board was just way too fair. Why you not playing Vanquish? Why you disrespect Vanquish? Are you crazy? That is, I feel like that's a crazy message to send right now. Anyways, moving on. Dude, I've played some Vanquish Soul, and I love the new Vanquish Soul deck. I just want to play Sky Striker at today's locals. Yeah. So I'll show you what I played on Sunday, and we'll talk about some of the things. I don't know if there's anyone here who is up to date with current Sky Striker theory, but I guess I'll walk you through my thought process when I made this list to just test. I played 3 Ray, 1 Rose, and it's only 1 Rose because this list has no desires. I think, as much as I hate playing with desires in a deck like this, there is a world where we have to do it. There is a world where we need to play desires in this deck because it just helps you with consistency, maybe. Will you do some Archmage theory one day too? I'm kind of interested. Absolutely. I like Archmage. I have the cards for the most part, I think. There's definitely going to be a week where I bring Archmage to locals and we build it beforehand. So the thing is, like, Rose is not a great card to draw. You don't really want to draw Rose. However, it does. You do need it in the deck for Sky Striker A0's effect, right? So here's what I did. I played Ash and Droll because I wanted to play Crossout, and this is like, I think this deck shouldn't be played as a hand trap deck. So these are the only ones that I played. But I wasn't super happy with Ash Blossom in this deck. I wasn't super happy with Ash Blossom. There's like a world where you cut these down a little bit. If it's just for Crossout, we could just play 1 and 1. However, with Desires, I think that would be a little foolish. But yeah, I played. This was all the monsters I played, and then I played for Sky Striker spells. I played 3 Engage, 3 Widow Anchor, 3 Linkage, 2 of the Lemnis Gate, which I like 2 even without Desires. I think this is like this card. After testing this deck, this is the reason to play this deck. Setting up this card, this 2 non-target bounces is nice against any deck. 2 non-target bounces is crazy. one multi-roll, one shark cannon, and I played Area Zero. And I'm not gonna lie, I think people are disrespecting Area Zero at the moment. I think Area Zero is actually a pretty decent card, and I was thinking about playing more. It plays harder into Droll if you start with Area Zero, but the ability to get a little bit of a consistency boost, even if it's just a small one, you know, like even if it's just a small consistency boost, I liked it. I liked it because you just get a spell engrave, and you have a chance to hit engage, ray, linkage, or multi-roll, which are all combo if you don't open a play. I felt like it was okay. I played 3 droplets. I played 3 upstarts. Despite the fact that like Droll and Lockbird after upstart is gonna kill you, I think the theory is that Droll and Lockbird kills you anyways, so you might as well play Upstart Goblin. I don't know. I played 2 Thrust and 1 Talons. Of course, Talons is limited. Only 2 Thrust because the deck draws a lot of cards, and I don't want to be drawing multiple Thrusts. The same reason, and I played 1 Goods with 1 Metal Foes Fusion. I would play 2 Goods, but there's no room in this as of right now. But we can play more spells. I wanted more spells. Rhoda, Terraforming, Cross Out, Called By, and a Goat Laughs. So this was my first attempt at the deck. It's 40, and I had, like I said, I had 2 problems with it. Problem number 1, Droll and Lockbird. Problem number 2, it was sometimes too fair when going first. No Hornet Drones. Yeah, I honestly, can someone here, someone who's playing Sky Striker, explain to me why people are playing Hornet Drones in this deck? Because I think Hornet Drone sucks ass in this deck right now. I don't understand why it's a 1-card combo. I mean, but you use Kagari for it. You can search it off Shizuku to stay in engine. Yeah, but you can do that with linkage. It's another access to links when you have consistency issues. Yes, but it's like the worst possible starter, right? So the question is like, is that worth it? Is it worth to play the worst possible starter? You want 0, not Kagari? Well, I mean, ideally you want both. Ideally you want both, I feel like. Maybe I can try Hornet Drones because consistency was one of my concerns. So here are a couple of cards that I was considering. I was considering playing more Foolish Burial Goods. I was considering playing additional copies of Area Zero. Probably not 3, but like a second one. I was considering an Eagle Booster. I don't know how important that is, but you can protect your 0 with it. I think that's neat. And Pot of Desires. Where did I put my... And if you play Pot of Desires, you probably want to play a second rose. Where's my second rose? I have a second rose somewhere. Oh, here. Yeah, Rhoda is here. I guess. Oh, the glare. Here. What is the game plan? See, that's the thing, right? I was doing different things going first depending on my hand, and like how often would you guys say you guys end on the new Link monster in the extra monster zone at the end of the turn? Because I didn't often do that. I usually did not end on this. Usually, I made this one first because I went like Ray Effect, make this, search engage. Then I would like activate engage and stuff, and then I would turn this into a Kagari, so it was not on my field at the end of the turn. in theory, though, I feel like it should be on your board at the end of the turn, ideally. But I was usually passing on Shizuku and not on Zero, right? Shizuku add linkage, so you end phase into Zero. What, you can only special it once per turn. That means you have not made Zero. I think it's more like you wanna end on a linkage set, right? Like your ideal, I guess your ideal end board, really, in a perfect world, you would have, I guess you would have a Shizuku in the EMZ, right? And then as many spells in the grave as you can. And your sets are like, you have one linkage in there. Definitely Lemniscate. Lemniscate linkage. And then I guess however many of these you can grab, right? And a multi-roll up. Right? So like you have multi-roll, you search Lemniscate and linkage if you can. And then the Shizuku gets you one Widow Anchor guaranteed. That's gonna get banished from the multi-roll, right? And then the you can have a, like, if you have another search or draw, you have one of these two, right? This is your setup, right? Or I suppose it could be like a called by if you drew it, or a Black Goat Laughs if you drew it, or a Droplet if you drew it, right? This is what you're aiming for, right? So, and so the way you use these disruptions, I suppose, the way you use these disruptions is you can linkage away the Shizuku into the second copy of Sky Striker A0. Then you can use the Sky Striker A0 to pop a card and summon Ray and Rose. Right? Like that. So that's one pop with the linkage. Then you can use the Lemniscate to bounce one or two cards. You can tag out with Ray into what do you tag out into at this point? I guess let's say we tag out into Kaina. Stop something from attacking. Then we can Lemniscate link into Seek for a banish, and then we also have the anchor to negate and take, likely, right? So that's the you can also Kagari for follow-up instead of kind. I think that depends on the game state, right? That depends on the game state that you're in. So in an ideal world, this is what you're trying to do, I think. Which is, honestly, I will say, when I got to an end board like this one, I was winning my games. Like, this was good enough going first if I got to this state. And it is like, besides Droll and Lockbird, the deck is not that vulnerable to a lot of disruption, I feel like. I felt like most disruption was fine. To play through, like, I don't know, imperms or something like that. Do they run reasoning? I didn't run reasoning. No, I don't think. I mean, since if they know you're playing Sky Striker, you're never gonna hit with it. You just mill like a bunch of spells. So yeah, basically my thing is like, how do I get to this sort of end board more consistently? So these are like the second rows alongside Desires is something I do want to try, even though I'm very I'm very scared to play Desires in this deck, because I think there's like no way you can play all these Sky Striker spells in multiples. Like multi-roll, I've never seen multi-roll as more than a one of. I've even seen decks without multi-roll. What about Cianos? Oh, I don't even have Cianos. What does Cianos do again? Hold up. Sky Striker Cianos. I don't think I have that This card is treated as a Sky Striker card. You can discard a spell. Special summon this card from your hand. If this card is no longer special, you can special rose from deck or grave. Also, you're locked into machines. They are they all machines in the extra deck? Yeah. All machines. Okay. No, yeah, okay. You can banish this card from your grave. Take one of your Sky Striker Ace Rose that's banished during your grave, add it to your hand as special summon. You can only use each effect once per turn. Spell. It's used to add back Rose. I mean, it's also a 1-card starter, right? It does make a 1-card Sky Striker Ace 0. You need Camellia for Cianos to be pretty sure. Be good, pretty sure. I mean... Oh, wait, no, it's not a Sky Striker Ace. It is a Sky Striker card, but it is not a Sky Striker Ace, so it cannot make 0. Yeah. Okay, that sucks. Yeah, I don't think that's good then. So in the OCG, that's different because they can make Camellia with it. They can make Camellia with this to send engage and then make Kagari to add it back, so that works. For us, that's not possible, and it's basically just you can make a Azalea with it going second, but yeah. No, I don't think that's good enough. I don't think that's good enough for us. Oh, extra deck. By the way, I think extra deck because I guess they did us a favor by not releasing any of the stuff that we needed for this deck or the imports, because the extra deck is like super not tight, right? So my extra deck was just like I was running 2 zeros, 3 Kagaris, 1 Hayate, 1 Shizuku. Never needed more than that. 1 Kaina. I even played 2 Zeeks, 1 Azalea, 1 Temperance, 1 SP, 1 Typhon, and that's 14. I think 3, 6, 8. Yeah, that's 14. That's 14. And you could even I was playing a third 0, but I never needed it. But I guess you could either a third 0 or like an extra Hayate or a Shizuku. But like you never need more than that. You can play a dark. What's the point of dark? I guess with dark you can make Azalea easier. Dark also makes Temperance, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think you ever need the third 0, to be fair. I don't think you need the third 0 ever. And I also even the second Zeke, I never needed it, but in my the theory I had for playing 2 Zeeks was the following, okay? So in that end board that we made earlier, right? Let's say we end on Shizuku, Widow Anchor, Linkage, and Lemniscate, right? With a bunch of spells in the grave. On this end board, right? When you used Linkage into a 0, then the 0 tags out into Ray Rose. Then you use Lemniscate, right? Usually, to shuffle back some stuff. So the 0s are always back in your extra deck, right? The 0s just go back into your extra deck, no problem. But very often, after the Lemniscate hits the graveyard, you're going to use the Ray effect to summon whatever, right? Let's say you summon Kagari for follow-up, and then you banish Lemniscate to link into a Zeke to banish on the opponent's turn. That Zeke is not going to get recycled, right? That Zeke is summoned on your opponent's turn after you use Lemniscate, so you can't recycle that Zeke. And that's why I thought maybe a second Zeke would make sense on the follow-up turn. You have access to it, right? I think that makes sense. I think that's why I like 2 Zekes. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. We're gonna talk about the side deck later with Sky Striker Hamp or whatever it's called. I think you should play that for Lunalight. The problem is I don't have it. I don't think I have Hamp. So well, I'm just gonna hope no one's gonna play Lunalight today because I don't think I can out the towers today at locals. Because I don't think I ordered a Sky Striker Hamp ahead of time. Did Temperance ever come up? Not really, but I think it's a fine option. I think there are use cases for it. You can play Goddess doesn't work against the Lunalight. They just wipe your board and then you you lose beforehand. Yeah, so basically I think I want to make this deck more spell heavy. I'm gonna keep the Droll and Lockbirds in there with the crossout for it. This is gonna stay. I'm not sure about the Ash Blossoms because while having crossout for Ash Blossom is nice, I felt like Ash Blossom didn't hit me super hard all the time. Like sometimes it was annoying if I only had one starter and they ashed it, but for the most part, I think Ash was fine. You could at least side the Ruma for the deck. Oh yeah, I did think about playing the Ruma Karma Cannons in side deck for Lunalight. I could do that, yeah. Salesman is a good breaker and possible anti-droll card. Ooh. Salesman call droll when I'm going first. But when I'm going second, I just call whatever they have. I don't hate that. Where are my sales bands? Hold up. I have sales bands somewhere. I do not hate that idea. I know I have sales bands. Side deck in general, we were testing without a side deck on Sunday, just playing some game ones. Haven't really thought too much about the side deck. Where's my sales bands? Good thing I sorted my collection alphabetically, so I find my stuff very quickly now. Hog Champion. I like the salesman idea. Okay, so you would be main decking salesman then, right? Because I mean, I guess it's fair to assume that everyone is main decking Droll and Lockbird, so you might as well play main deck salesman. The only problem is, I don't know if I would like to play Droll and Lockbird with salesman together, right? I feel like that doesn't make sense. Because if I go first and I activate salesman calling Droll and Lockbird, I cannot Droll for the rest of the game. So I ruin my own cards in the deck. And the thing is, I draw a lot of cards. So I would be... Yeah, then I just don't play Droll, I think. I just cut Droll for more spell cards. Do you really think going second is not an option? Going second is definitely an option for this deck. But the way I look at it is I think the thing I want to try first is going first, because I think in an ideal world this deck goes first and is just solid going second. Like when you lose the dice roll, you want to just be fine, but you don't want to build. You don't want to force going second. At least that's how I feel about it at the moment. There you go. Okay, hold up. So if I cut these 7 cards here, And I add 3 sales ban. What else do I add? Do I add Pot of Desires? I could also add the Hornet drones to make it slightly more consistent. Should I play without desires? Should I just play... Should I just play a second goods? A second field spell? Second goods, second field spell. Where's my second goods? I lost track of it. Where did it go? There's one goods. Oh, there's the second one. Are you only on... No, I'm on 3 droplets. Hold up. Let me sort this stuff real quick. Okay, so the only monsters then would be 3 Ray, 1 Rose. I'm fine with that. We're gonna be playing 2 Lemnis Gates, Shark Cannon, Linkage, Engage Yugioh, Sky Striker, here, droplets, 2 goods, 3 droplets, this, 2 thrust, 3 upstarts. Okay, hold up. So, 3 Ray, 1 Rose. Then for striker spells, we do 3 Engage, 3 Anchor, 3 Linkage, 2 Lemnis Gate. 2 field spells, 1 Shark Cannon, 1 Hornet drones. Yeah. And then generic spells, we got 3 sales band, 3 droplets, 3 upstart, 2 goods, 1 metal foes, 2 thrust, 1 talents, Terra, Rhoda, called by Black Goat. How many is that? 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 19, 20, 23, 25, 34, 38. Where'd your roll go? Oh yeah, where's my multi-roll? 39. 39. 39. I like the look of this. I feel like this is way too many spells. I'm gonna ignore that comment. I'm gonna ignore that comment on a Sky Striker deck building stream. That's crazy. Oh, it's crazy, Worker. You said that. Do I try an Eagle Booster? What about Drawbread? Yeah, they do play that in the OCG, but we don't have that yet, right? That's hold up. That is I've seen that in a couple of Sky Striker lists. If you have a monster in your grave, pay 200 life points, draw a card. Then, if it's a monster, apply this effect based on chap. You're different from non draw a card, same as the monster in the grave, discard a card. Yeah, it's just upstart, but it's like conditional, and it's once per turn, so they play like 1 copy of it. Whatever. It's not even that good. It's just like, yeah. So it's not even that good. I don't know. I could see myself playing an Eagle Booster as card number 40, just to try it. Shaking Game. Shaken game. Shaken game. Is Shaken game legal in TCG? Yeah, right? At 1. Well, isn't that just perfect? I could play a Shaken game. You know, draw 1, send it for linkage. Could even play set rotation. Full bamboo package. Okay, no, we're not gonna make a bamboo package happen right now. Hold up, let me search my chicken game. Dude, my sorting system is goated, by the way. For all the people that were here during the sorting stream who were wondering how I liked the alphabetic sorting, it's absolutely broken. The only annoying part of having the entire collection sorted alphabetically is the amount of effort it takes to sort your stuff back into it when you go to a tournament and you like take out a bunch of cards. You have to sort them back in, which sometimes I'm a little behind on it, and then the cards just lay around here. But it's very, very nice. Okay. You know, it's definitely a little copium, this list, but I think it could work. I think it could work. It's definitely more consistent than the one that I played on Sunday, because it's just less hand traps and some more consistency cards. Like the Hornet Drones is back in, the second field spell is in, the chicken game is in, the Foolish Burial Goods can be an Upstart Goblin. So there's just like 4 more consistency cards. So I like that. And then we have more outs to draw in Lockbird now because we went to Sales Ban. Make a spot for unsorted cards, then sort them when it gets full. Yeah, I thought about that. There's like let me see if I find it. Hold up. There's like a thing. I haven't figured out where to find it. There's like where to buy it. There's like things like this. Like a TCG sorting tray. I thought about getting that and just putting the cards in there. That's $40. Jesus Christ. Why is it that expensive? It's just a plastic thingy. But yeah, something like this I thought about getting. Just put the cards there that I need to sort back into the collection. Then when it's like a little too full, I just sort them in. You know, I thought about doing that. Well, it's yeah, maybe there's a cheaper one. That seems pretty expensive. You can get them way cheaper. I have a few. Yeah, if you have a, you can send me a link if you where you got them. I might look into it. Anyways, I like this main deck. I'll run it. I'll run this and report back how it went. Yeah. Okay. The only thing is, so extra deck, I'm just gonna run with the third 0, I think, for the extra deck. Whatever. So 3 zeros, 3 Kagaris, 1 Hayate, 1 Shizuku, 1 Kaina. I really like the alt arts, by the way, on the Sky Strikers. It just bothers me that Kaina does not have an alt art. It bothers me that Kaina does not have an alt art, so it feels like a very not matching set. Also because the rarities are all over the place. And then 2 Zeke, 1 Azalea, 1 Azalea Temperance, 1 SP Little Knight, and 1 Typhon. So the third the third 0 could be like a Dark Charmer or a Access Code. Maybe I'll do that. No Camellia. Yeah, no Camellia. I just don't think it's good, man. I think Camellia just doesn't, it's just not good. I would play it, but I just don't think it's good. Okay. Question. What the hell does this deck side deck at the moment? Because I feel like side decking Charmies is weird in this deck because it doesn't, like, I hate drawing into Charmies and you play so much draw power. Like, hand traps in general feel very weird for that reason. I'm gonna side deck Karma Cannons just in case someone plays Lunalight, because I don't have the Sky Striker. Actually, let me check. What's the name? What's the exact name of the Sky Striker Hamp? I can check real quick if I have it. Sky Striker Hamp is Surgical Striker Hamp. Okay, so it would be under S. Yes. Conveniently, S is the largest pile out of all the piles. Oh god, Snake Eyes. SU. No, I don't have it. I don't have it. Yeah, I do not have the surgical Hamp Sky Striker. I could see playing like board breakers for certain matchups. Like, I wouldn't be super opposed to playing these cards in here. I wouldn't be opposed to playing Dark Ruler for a certain matchup. Maybe Inscription. Is Inscription good? It's only start of the main phase, so it's like a terrible draw with Talent or Upstart or Engage. So that's why I don't like that, maybe. Evenly could be okay, but it's also a terrible top deck with yeah, maybe back row removal. Do we have outs? Yeah, I'm gonna play Karma Cannons. I'm gonna play Karma Cannons for just going first in general, maybe, but then also as an out to the Lunalight. Herald of the Abyss. Herald of the Abyss. Herald of the Abyss. But can't they just send a different card? Need to bait Hound. Yeah, I can Shark Cannon the Hound though, right? It's not that difficult. They also make two. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna play 3 Karma Cannons because I don't have the Hamp, right? I mean, even then, the Hamp, one Hamp wouldn't even be enough, right? If they play multiples, because you can't recycle the Hamp, I think. Because, actually, what does Lemnis Gate say? Is it Sky Striker Monsters or Sky Striker Ace? Ace, yeah. Lemnis Gate only recycles Sky Striker Ace, so you cannot, thingy. They have 2 End Spell Trap Negates. You can Lemnis Gate it back. No, yeah, well, I mean, you can return it from the field to the hand if they don't out it. But yeah, ideally you would play the Hamp, but I don't have it, so I can't play it. I'll play Duster Lightning Storm. So here's the thing, right? When I'm going second, what do I even take out? I probably keep in this. I definitely keep this. Going second, I could see siding out a Lemnis Gate. I could see siding out a Field Spell. Shark Cannon, depending on the matchup. Hornet Drones. Could theoretically side out Multi-Roll. Probably not going to side out Salesman, but could if it's terrible in a matchup. Droplet is probably going to stay for most matchups. I could side out upstarts. They're not too important. Similar to these. These are going to stay going second. This is probably going to stay. This is probably going to stay. This is probably going to stay. The black goat goes out going second, right? So this is what we're working with that we could side out going second. But like, what I guess the problem, quote unquote, is that I'm not entirely sure what my game plan is for the matchups because I haven't played many different matchups with this deck yet. Like, what's the win con against, let's say, Mitsurugi Ryzeal? Because I could see Dark Ruler No More being a really good card against Mitsurugi Ryzeal, right? Because you just let him cook, let him make their board, and then you just go like, okay, I'll Dark Ruler you. Because you don't care too much about you don't care too much about the Murakumo Raigeki. You do care about the trap card. Inscription is really powerful if you open it, right? But if you draw into it, it's so bad. And this deck draws a lot of cards. I don't think I want Inscription. Don't they have the trap for Dark Ruler? Post side they could. Post side they could have it, yeah. But I think baiting the Omni Negate shouldn't be the most difficult part for this deck. Lancia for Malice. Do you really think I need to hand trap Malice? Can't I break their board? I mean, I know it's difficult. That's probably better just Lancia. Board breaking Malice XDD. It's just that part of me just doesn't want to play hand traps in this deck because the deck draws so many cards. I guess a Lancia can still be good on the third turn of the game, but it's really difficult, I think, if I top deck Lancia. Need the new Raigeki spell that revives from their grave? Wait, what? Oh, that's not out yet. Yeah, okay. Ooh, is there a matchup where Magical Spring is good right now? I love that card. Probably not, right? Probably no matchup for it. I actually Lunalight, but that's not worth. I think Gordian Slicer would be possible. Not sure. Oh, we can probably side one of these for going second, depending on the matchup. I could see those having uses. Searchable ways to out stuff. That seems okay. Foolish Return. Yeah, the problem is I don't know if we can really play catch up like that against Malice. Like when you're trying to like Evenly is really strong. Evenly, maybe it is. Maybe I'll try Evenly. Maybe I'll try Evenly. Because Evenly, I feel like Evenly does align with my game plan for this deck. Right? Because I'm trying to outgrind people. I'm not trying to OTK. And if I can evenly someone, then I think my chances of winning after are a lot higher. And I don't actually need the battle phase. I mean, the battle phase is a neat tool going second when you have Hayate to send engage and stuff, but it's not 100% necessary. So we'll do this. This is 11. So the thing is evenly has the same problem that you could draw it later on in the turn, right? Which sometimes sucks because sometimes you're going to start with, there are hands where going second, you start Ray into Hayate into attack, send engage, and then add it back in main phase 2, and then your engage draws you evenly, and it sucks. The same is true for Lightning Storm because you already have cards face up on the field. So like I'm a little iffy on those cards. The problem is if we don't side those cards because of those arguments, then it becomes really hard to find anything that's worth siding in this deck, right? Because there's just not many good cards that work in this sort of concept, which is a little annoying, right? There's not many power spells that are good board breakers that are also good when you draw them later, right? Like one of those cards that I'm already main decking is Forbidden Droplet, because Forbidden Droplet is like good in your opening hand, but also good going first, but it's also usable when you draw it later. Because if I break a board and then I activate engage and I draw a card and then I draw a droplet, that's fine. I can either negate more cards on their field or I can set it for the next turn. Which is why droplet is so good in this deck. This is a quality that these cards don't have. So that's why I'm a little iffy on them, but I'm like wondering what the alternative is. Because Inscription, same problem. Dark Ruler, same problem. I guess Cosmic Cyclone, but I don't think there's enough use cases for Cosmic Cyclone right now. Like, which decks is Cosmic Cyclone even good against? Especially going second. Salesman is already in my main deck. For Droll and Lockbird. The Varudra spell? Nah. Not this one, no. Metaltronus? No. Book of Eclipse. Change of Heart, Mind Control, Gordian Slicer. Gordian Slicer at least is start of main phase 1 or start of main phase 2. So like if I draw Gordian Slicer later, I can still go battle phase, then go main phase 2, then activate Gordian Slicer. The problem is I think it's really, really hard for this deck to bounce more than one card. Do you have extra deck space for Ultimate Slayer? I could probably fit 1, 2, maybe 3 cards in the extra deck. Third Thrust? I don't hate the idea of siding a Third Thrust. That I could do. Third Thrust. Super Poly. Aggregator, Bucephalus, Garura, and you're good with Slayer? I mean, I could play Slayer. I could play Slayer with the new rank 5 as well instead of Aggregator, right? Like Slayer with Bucephalus, Garura, and Aggregator. Not Aggregator, the new Psychic dude. It's an option. Maybe it is Slayers. Because Slayers you can still draw later. So Ultimate Slayer. Aggregator is better to negate cross. I mean, but you spin the detonator, right? You can play Perfume Dancer as a Slayer target to out the tower. Hold up. Luna Light Perfume Dancer. You can banish this card from your grave. This turn, all monsters your opponent controls lose attack equal to their own defense. You can only use each effect once per turn. Okay, and the towers is not unaffected by this. You know what's really annoying? I didn't pull any Perfume Dancers, so I actually don't have any yet. In my entire box and sneak peeks, I didn't pull a single Perfume. I could probably find a Perfume Dancer, though. For 4 locals. How much defense does the tower have? I think it has enough. Liger Dancer. Lunalite Liger Dancer has... yeah, 3,500. 3,500 defense. So you can, like... you can... It goes to 300. Dude, it's cool because... hold up. So that means you can just... if this card is sent to the grave, you can send a Beast Warrior or Winged Beast from your extra deck to the graveyard. So you can Ultimate Slayer the SP Little Knight, right? And then just send this for Bucephalus. So you out the SP, and then you make both of the towers like 300 attack. Right? But what if they summon the Ligers in defense? Then we are cooked. If they do that, this does not work at all. Because then they are just 3,500 defense. Then we lose. I think the best plan for this deck is the Ruma Karma Cannon, because this deck can out the I mean, I would, in an ideal world in this deck, I would play the Kaiju, the Hamp, but I don't have it. But in this deck, you can banish the spell Trap Negate with Shark Cannon. And then you can just Karma Cannon. The Ruma can be dodged with SP, yeah, but like you just Widow Anchor it or something. Not that big of a deal. Six, 7, 10. 10, 12. I'm not sure how I feel about evenly matched. Perulia. I don't like Charmies in this deck. Because Charmies are good in your opening hand, but then you draw into them on your turn and they just suck. Because this deck draws so many cards in an ideal world. Don't you think people let you go first after siding? I guess that is an argument for some of these cards. Like I don't want to side like all of this in the same matchup, right? Like I don't want to side too much of this. I think this deck now with the new support is like good enough going first that people should not be sending you first. Most of the time. Like because ultimately, if you hit an average hand with this deck, it's still pretty good. At going first, even if I put in like Ultimate Slayers or something, right? So but that is a good point. It is a good point. You don't want to be siding too many board breakers, and then all of a sudden your opponent just says, "Yeah, you go first," and then like half of your hand sucks. But yeah. So this would be 12 cards, so I would have room for one more playset. I'm wondering which matchup I haven't covered. I've covered going first pretty well because I can even side in the Karma Cannons when I go first. Against most matchups, they're pretty good. And I don't have many cards in my deck that I even have to take out when I go first. I don't even think there is any card that is just for going first. No. Just for going second, I mean. Like, there's nothing I have to side out when I go first. You could argue Droplet is probably the worst card in the deck when you're going first, so you can take that out. But going first is, like, not a big problem. Prohibition to have 6 rollouts? No. I don't think that's good, because that doesn't go to the graveyard. Like, Sales Ban is at least a spell in your grave, right? I was thinking for a second earlier, I know, hear me out, I know it's cringe, but I was thinking about playing this, because it is also a droll. Like, they can't droll you after this, and your deck functions pretty well. The only thing is, I mean, your Ray gets banished, which is a little annoying, but you could theoretically do this, but then also your Lemnis Gate doesn't work under this, so I'm not a huge fan of that idea. Clockwork Knight? What's the idea behind Clockwork Knight? Can't you out defissure with linkage? I mean, yeah, but then what's the point of it? If I out my own defissure with linkage, then I don't feel like it does serve a purpose. Just to get your combo started? I mean, yeah, but so it's just a Droll and Lockbird answer. Like, I just activate it, do some searches, and then send it away. That does not feel worth it to me. I feel like you would rather just play it because your deck doesn't care that much, and then there's other decks that completely get destroyed by it. You can side Book of Eclipse. I mean, Book of Eclipse is also not bad against Ryzeal, right? And Book of Eclipse... Don't hate Book of Eclipse. Can Prayers tribute a face down Murakumo? Mitsurugi Prayers. I think it can, but it's been a while. When you activate, you can tribute a reptile from hand or... Yeah, you can. Okay. Then Book of Eclipse is not great against the Mitsu part. But you do out the detonator unless they have Eclipse Twins under it. Nah, I don't think this is good enough. Maybe I'll just do Lanceas. Maybe I'll just do 3 Lanceas for Malice. Just for good measure. Because this is 12. This is 12. And then I have 3 Lanceas in there as well. I don't know where my Lanceas are. So for Malice, I have Lancea plus whatever board breakers I want to side. For Ryzeal, I go with Ultimate Slayer. I have something for Luna Light. I guess Ultimate Slayer is also fine against Vanquish Soul because hitting the rock with it is not bad. The only thing that I'm wondering is if I should try Evenly Matched. Because even though I don't really believe in it, it would be an interesting thing to test. Vanquish Soul is this deck's hardest matchup, even though it's the only way to calm them down. To be fair, I don't know if anyone is gonna play Vanquish Soul at the locals I'm going to today. But maybe I'll try evenly. Maybe I'll try evenly instead of Lightning Storm. Or instead of Lancia. Because Lancia is just for Malice. And I guess Crystron, but... yeah. I might try evenly. I'll just later, I'll decide for 15 out of these 18. I'll see about it. I like my main deck. I like the main deck for today. I mean, it's the first attempt at a side deck, so it's fine if it's not perfect, since it's just locals testing. I think the main deck's pretty cool. We'll see how it goes. Which is ultimately, I mean, that's the point of going to locals, right? It doesn't have to be all perfect. As long as the theory behind it is sound, which I think it's fine, then we'll just see how it goes and draw conclusions from that. So this side deck currently is 18, and the extra deck is going to depend a little bit on whether I decide to play the Slayers or not, which I'm leaning towards yes. So the side deck is going to be 2-0, 3 Kagari, 1 Hayate, 1 Shizuku, 1 Kaina, 1 Zeke, 1 Azalea, Temperance, SP, iPhone 3, 6, 9, that's 13. So if I want 3 Slayer targets, which is the one that I cut? Is it Temperance? Is it Temperance? It might sound crazy, but is it really, now that Lemniscate is out, is it really 3 Kagaris? I did think about that a couple of times, and I know most people do play 3. I feel like there's a world where you can play 2. It feels crazy to say that even, but I think it's doable with 2. With Lemniscate. Because it's like, it's such a long time until you run out of Kagaris. And Lemniscate, one Lemniscate recycles them all, right? Because Lemniscate, you don't have to target different names. Like you can target 2 Kagaris with Lemniscate, and then you have them back again. Like I don't know if you really need 3. Because realistically, when you use Kagari on the first turn, you set up 1 Lemniscate already. So the first Kagari that goes to your graveyard, you always recycle already. So you basically always have the third one, even if you only play 2. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe I'll try to see if it's possible just to get away with 2. Maybe I'll do some limit testing and cut a Kagari instead of cutting utility. Because I have made 3 Kagaris with this deck on the weekend, for sure. I did do that. But I feel like I could have found a way to work with 2. Was there no rank 4 worth running? I guess you could run a Baguska, and sometimes going second just go 0, no effect, tribute, summon the 2 level 4s, make Baguska or something. The only one I can think of is Baguska that would make it worth it. Everything else I don't think is worth it, no. Exiton maybe. Yeah, sure. Maybe Exiton. But yeah. That is stuff that you can only really do if you don't play Ultimate Slayer, because then you have some more room. Can you run Duo Drive? Funnily enough, I've seen a video, I think it was by Frozen Card Gaming. They were playing Mitsurugi Sky Striker, and the plan was to go, like, if you go 0, you have 2 options. Either you just use the effect to search engage, or you tribute it to summon 2 level 4s and make King of the Pharaoh Imps. So the idea was that Rei can either be engage or full Mitsurugi combo, which I thought was pretty interesting. So maybe there is a world where you experiment and take this deck into a different direction, because this is a much more standard approach, or classic approach rather. This is like 2018/2019 Sky Striker, but like reimagined for today's format, right? So I think there is other stuff that you can do with these cards, which is cool. But I want to try this first. Does anyone know where to find that video? I can link you real quick. Hold up. Let me find it. Because I know what channel it was on. I can just send you the link. Hold up. Frozen Card Gaming. So it's this channel, and it was this or this. Yeah, I watched this video. This is the deck profile for it, I think, but this was the combo explanation. I'll link you the combo explanation, and you can just do. You can, yeah. There you go. Link is in chat. I saw that over the weekend at some point. I thought it was interesting. It's like it just showcases a couple of different routes you can take these new cards, which is cool. Yeah. Okay. I think we're set for locals. I'm just gonna decide the last card for the side deck, I guess, or rather, I have to take out 3 cards from the side deck. I will decide that later, just before I go, I think. But I'm looking forward to it. I just think this deck is very fun. I did have a lot of fun playing it over the course of the weekend already. I also had a blast playing Vanquish Soul, I will say. Currently, the chances that I'm going to play Vanquish Soul at Euros are very high. The Vanquish Soul stonks are rising, definitely. I had so much fun playing Vanquish Soul. That deck, and like fun as in the deck was fun, but it was also strong. So I did like Vanquish Soul. But I also liked Sky Striker. It just felt like Vanquish Soul was the stronger one between the two. But that's why I want to give Sky Striker another chance today to see if there's anything here. If we maybe optimize the deck a little bit more.